get picked. I mean, he was the 10th pick overall. We're not talking. I think he thought he was going to be the Aaron Rodgers of this draft, and he was acting like that. And the reality is a team traded up and gave away picks to go get him at number 10 because they like him so much. And so just because he's the fourth quarterback of the 4 to go, I just don't know that. It didn't seem genuine at that point to be saying some of the things he said. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if he does what he said he's going to do, which is go to camp and prove everybody wrong and work and be the best quarterback of these 4, then it doesn't matter at the end of the day.
I think, guys, I have a different take. Stephen A., I hear you saying it was idiotic. Maybe. And Todd, I don't think it was false bravado. It didn't seem that way to me. What it seemed to me, I do think that he will regret this. Josh Rosen will look back and shake his head, and if he matures the way we'd like to see, and think, I shouldn't have said that. And the reason I think that is because it came off as immature. That's how I would describe it. Not idiotic or even necessarily false bravado, just immature. How is it immature? Well, he talks about, basically the attitude was, I'm going to be candid here and tell people how I really feel, and it's going to have a certain effect. No, it didn't. It didn't have the effect I think he intended. In other words, I'm going to be candid about how angry I was, but then it all went away because I got drafted and I was happy. And he felt as though he could hold court in that way and have the effect of people thinking he's being candid and earnest and honest about things, and he's kind of a leader who can do that. It did not come off that way. I thought it was immature because he admitted to his anger and how he really couldn't control his emotions. He's sitting there getting angry as it's happening, and then when his name is called, the anger goes away, and now he feels happy, but that means he's not in control of what's going on. The external events are controlling him. And then finally when he says, I'm going to make them regret this, when he says, I'm going to make them regret this for a decade or more, it's almost like someone in 12-step at this point. Like, at this point in his career, I don't think he's showing maturity by talking about a decade. It's too unpredictable in the NFL, injuries, everything else. What he can control is getting better every day, doing it right now. In other words, everything he said told me his approach isn't right. Not that it's irreparable, but that he's just immature.
I want to just add one thing, Todd. I know you wanted to jump in. Todd, I just want to say one thing. It came across to me as ungrateful and entitled. Like, you only fell to 10. Get over yourself. You're drafted in the NFL. People would kill for this opportunity.
Well, let's talk about what's real here for a second. What's real is he's going to now pack up all of his stuff. He's going to move to Arizona. He's going to get a condo or a house. He's going to show up to the facility, and he's going to start looking around, and he's going to be weightlifting and going to OTAs and working out in the morning and going to practices and looking in the huddle at guys who have been in the league for 3-4 years, who have bounced around to 5 different cities. And he's going to be the 10th pick. So he's probably guaranteed about $18 to $20 million, okay? Forget about his family money. I'm talking about Josh Rosen's money. $18 to $20 million. And you're looking in the huddle at this center who's been bounced around from New York to San Francisco to Tennessee, and now is getting a fourth shot. And he's making $800,000 or $1 million. And so he's going to realize real quickly how fortunate he is, or he should realize how quickly how fortunate he is, and realize that his struggle is not quite a struggle when you compare it to all of his teammates who are out there grinding for him, protecting him, and doing everything else that he needs in order to have success in the league. That's the big thing, the awakening that he needs to have in order to take the next step, I believe.
Todd and Max, let me ask y'all a quick question. Because, see, y'all got y'all analogies. Let me give you mine. I'm going to assume both of y'all can fight a little bit, especially you, Max, because damn it, you cover boxing. You need to know how to fight, okay? So I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and assume that if you had to, Max, you know how to throw down, okay? Let me ask y'all this question. If you got your hands tied behind your back and somebody had the license to come up to you and slap you upside your head basically any damn time they felt like it, could you win that fight? Can't do it. You can't do it. Why am I bringing up that analogy? Because essentially that's what you are when you are a quarterback with questionable durability. How many times have you seen it, Todd, where you're watching a football game and even if guys get passes off, it doesn't stop. Whether it's a defensive lineman, it's a linebacker, it's somebody from the safety spot coming in with an all-out blitz, whatever the case may be, where you got a shot at this dude and your whole thing is to put a hat on him because as the game progresses, this brother is going to break down. He can't deal with this heat. You cover draft after draft after draft, Todd. I'm asking you a very simple question. How many times have you seen defensive players literally have the mentality, okay, we might give up a pass here and there, but this brother here is soft. We just need to get at him, put a hat on him, make him tap dance, think a little bit extra about us coming at him because he can't take it. I'm saying defensive players see somebody like this. You coming out of college with 2 concussions in the last year. It doesn't matter how good you are if you can't take the heat. So it would behoove you to shut the hell up and just play and get yourself in the best condition imaginable because grown men are coming to put lead on you. That's what I'm talking about.
That's why.
I know he can play. I know he can play.
That's why when I hear decade, when I hear him talking about decade for the next decade or more, you're not promised tomorrow in the NFL.
Thank you.
Your career could end at any second. You have to keep getting better. He's not focused on the job, the task at hand, it seems to me. Now, we're overblowing that because it's just a comment. But will he look back and regret it if he matures? I believe so, because I think it's an immature comment. And Todd, you talk about he's going to be spending his days in the weight room and doing those things. The other big question is, how is he going to be spending his nights? Because to Stephen A's point about durability, or even to the idea of getting better, you know, how much you enjoy yourself is also a big question. Mm-hmm. And when you see immaturity in a player, that's a question that comes to mind.
I'm not worried about Rosen with there's nothing. I mean, yeah, he might go out a little bit, but there's no signs of, you know, socially he's going to be a party guy in Arizona or anything like that. I think, and I'm not worried about him being soft. If you study his tape, he's tough. I mean, he grew up with money. That doesn't mean he can't be tough. He is tough. What I'm worried about is like Sam Bradford, for example. He came in the league with a reputation of, this guy's struggled, narrow shoulders, had the shoulder injury his last year at Oklahoma. He came in the league with a target on his back. And I think Rosen comes in the league with that same target, where I think, to your point, Stephen A., can I get a shot in on him? Because if we get enough shots in on this guy, it's not that he's going to cower. It's not that he's soft or afraid. It's that eventually this body's going to break down. And if we can keep getting shots, especially divisional foes that are facing twice a year, if we can get enough shots in against this guy, we get a chance to knock him out of the game, and we get a better chance to win if this guy's out of the game.
Molly, look how much bigger Sam Darnold is than Josh Rosen. He looks like an NFL quarterback. I'm talking about size.
Yeah.
You look at a Russell Wilson.
He didn't when he was Rosen's age.
That's right. Do you see those tree trunks for legs that Russell Wilson have on him? Then you look at Josh Rosen. He barely looks bigger than us.
Weight room, baby, all day. Todd.
Let's pump them brakes, man. This is a man's game. Shut up.
Todd, thank you so much. We'll be watching you tonight. Looking forward to day 2 of the draft.
One of a kind,
right, man.
He sure is.
No doubt.
So much more NFL draft to get into. Up next, we'll dissect this quarterback class in depth and debate which guys are perfect fits with their teams, who is the steal of the draft, and which ones could be complete busts. Stay put.
I am preaching the gospel. Are you good or bad at what you're doing? You're terrible. Gospel. Stephen A., I don't know what we're going to do for the next 7 minutes.
Here's the gospel. Thank you. Zip it, quiet, nothing else.